Let me ask you a question. Remember when Rush used to say that? Let me ask you a question. You think they're trying to kill Trump? I do. I do. If you look back, uh, first, of course, with the raids, I don't have to take you through everything that's happened. You know what, everything from the raid at Mar-a-Lago to everything else. What they've done is unprecedented at every step of the way. We knew that they wanted to try to convict him of something so he couldn't run again. That's a question. We know the way they want to keep him out of office, right? And I think that might have been their original intent. But as things progressed and as he continued to gain popularity, by the way, did I say hi, welcome to American Reversion? I don't think I did, but hi, welcome to American Reversion. It's Saturday, relaxing in the bunker. Uh, just sharing some thoughts. As it went along, and he kept gaining popularity with every new charge, and gaining in areas that they never thought that he would. He is gaining such ground with blacks, and I was going to say the surprise was among black men, but it's black men, black women, both. And they're saying that, well, they see how the system is jacking with Trump, just like the system has jacked with a lot of them, and it's causing them to have a certain feeling of affinity for him. I think that's a lot of it. He is certainly a populist president, but he keeps gaining, more support with everything they do. And I think that they've come to the realization that this isn't going to work. Now, first they just wanted to keep him from running, right? They wanted to get him convicted of something, and so he couldn't run. That was their pipe dream. Now they want to break him. I mean, and they're trying to break him. They're trying to make him go broke. They're trying, and can you imagine all the money that he is spending? I mean, wow, I can't even imagine the amount of money that he's spending. They're trying to wear him down. How many court cases does he have going on right now? Who can handle that kind of stress? And so they really are. They're going after his money. They're going after his mental health. The thing is, I'm even surprised, and I never thought that this would have much of a negative effect, simply because I've followed Trump for years. I don't know how many of you have read his books. I've read all of his books since the first one came out, Art of the Deal. And I forget which book this was in. And so I've been a fan of Trump for a long time. Too many people really didn't know much about him until The Apprentice. And there are a lot of people out there taking shots at him nowadays that really don't know a lot about him. They don't like the fact that he wanted to limit bump stocks. They don't like the fact that warp speed and the vax and all that. And I get all that. I mean, I didn't like his support for bump stocks. I think he was very mistaken with his, the vaccine business. But I know a lot more about him than that. And yes, I know there's other things too. I know, I get it. But I remember him reading or writing. I remember reading a story that he wrote in one of his books, and it was somebody had come to him asking. They were going bankrupt, and they came to him and asked his advice. Well, he was way in debt. I forget what the situation was, but he'd owed everybody in the world. I mean, all the major banks, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, all the biggies, UBS, all the international banks, for developments that he had, made. And of course, you don't pay for developments out of your pocket. You finance them. And so there's, the world of finance is very complicated, especially when you get to that level. Well, he was in a real bind. And I think he told this story in the context of his advice to this person who asked him, "Boy, I've got creditors I think I remember who it might have been, but I'm not going to say who it was just in case I'm wrong. The guy, and Trump says, well, how many people do you owe? The guy says, oh, man, I got 3. Trump says, oh, man, I had, and I don't know how many he had, but it was a bunch. And he said what he had to do, he says it was one of the worst feelings in the world, walking from his office late at night in the rain to go meet with one of the lenders that he had to talk to and convince to stay with him. And he said he contacted every one of his lenders personally, and to keep them from, calling all of his loans, and sat down and had dinner with him and talked to him and convinced them that he was going to make it, and that if they tried to shut him down, they were going to lose probably the opportunity to get their money back. But if they stuck with him, they were going to get their money back, and he needed them to stay with him. And he convinced every one of those lenders to stick with him, and they all got paid back. And he dug himself out of that hole. That takes unbelievable mental strength and emotional strength. I mean, I don't know how many of you have had money problems. I have. I've had money problems in the past. I remember years ago when I was running my gyms, and I tell you what, it'll keep you awake at night. You can't sleep. You don't function as well as you used to. You don't know what you're going to do. You're trying to figure things out. The economy tanks. Your business goes, but you still have all these things to pay, and it'll take its toll. And so I didn't really have any doubts that he would be able to handle this, because I've been aware of what he's done in the past. But I mean, this is getting to the point that I don't know how the man is doing it, and he just keeps out. I'm to an extent I give it. I mean, I've always enjoyed the fight myself. I won't say that I enjoy hard times, but I do fairly well during them, because I get my mojo on, right? And but he's like it. He likes to fight, and he's coming back at him, and he doesn't grovel, and he doesn't give in. He doesn't give an inch. And I think most people would. I mean, if you look at all the people around him who have flipped or copped a plea, right? And he's not doing it. And what they want to do now, they do want to put him in prison. And the funny thing, there's 2 things. Well, they're not funny. Two situations that I've read recently. You might have too. One was a Democrat congressman, I don't know who it was, putting forth a bill that would remove Trump's Secret Service detail from him if he goes to prison. Man, I mean, the funny thing there is they think that he would be killed in prison. I think he'd probably come out of prison with all those people behind him. I think he'd probably be the king in there, simply because people love Trump. And now that he is being, after the whole system is going after him, prisons are not full of people who love the system, right? And I think he'd go in and he knows how to deal with people. You don't have to go in and be, the biggest, baddest boy. You go in if you know how to deal, and he would know how to deal with people. And I think he'd turn that prison inside out. If they allowed him in population, I don't know if that would happen or not. They probably wouldn't allow that. Probably stick him in solitary for however long he's in there. But even at that, I bet somehow he would have a large influence inside. And now apparently the Secret Service is developing a plan of how they will protect him if he does go to prison. So now this doesn't mean that they're expecting that, but only an idiot doesn't put together contingency plans. I mean, this is the ultimate in preparedness, and it's the big what if, right? I know this isn't a preparedness channel, but it's the big what if. And we have to start dealing with this. And I'm sure there's things going on in the background on this, but the fact of the matter is they want to kill him. And that, make no mistake, this is what that removing, trying, or putting together the bill that they want to remove his Secret Service detail from him if he goes to prison. That's what it's about. It's not about money. It's not about well, we can't provide Secret Service to a convicted felon. Blah blah blah. It's that they want him to be killed. They would prefer to do it if, without their little fingerprints being on it, if they can. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is going to work before the election, and I don't believe any of these reports that the election is even close. Now, I did believe last time, and all the people were saying, oh, there's no way Biden is close to Trump. I did believe it was, and I warned people. I said, don't believe it. I've seen these people in the past. I saw Clinton come back and get a second term after nobody thought he could. I saw Obama get a second term after slip of the tongue. After he had screwed up the first one so bad, everybody, nobody believed he could get a second, and he did. So never discount, the stupidity of the American voter. And I felt that Biden did have a shot last time, for a whole number of reasons we don't need to go into here. But I don't think it's close now. I don't think it's close at all. So they're going to have to do something dirty to get it in, and dirtier than they did last time. And I think if it gets to that point, I can see them wanting to do something. And I know I have to be very careful here of what I say. And you all know that I certainly don't hope that it happens. If it looks to them like this election is in danger, I think they will go to, what should we call it, the nuclear option of something happening to Trump. It's kind of like everybody's always accused Putin that well, if it came down to the possibility that Russia would fall to Ukraine, which was stupid, never would have happened. Well, then Putin gonna use nukes. Nah, that wasn't gonna happen anyway. So, but here, I can see if they say, well, it looks like he's way ahead, not what the news says, but the true polls. If it looks like they think they're gonna, or if they think it looks like they're gonna lose, I can see certain people wanting something to happen to Trump. Well, I guess I can say it because I'm gonna put this on the thumbnail. I think they want to kill Trump. I already said it at the beginning, didn't I? So I don't know why I'm dancing around it here. I think they would want to kill Trump, and I don't know. I'm not going to go any farther than that. But I think that it's definitely something that, and I don't know who or what levels, but I'm sure there are certain people thinking about that. So just thought I'd share that with you all today, and I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. As always, please be careful with what you say on here. We don't want to jeopardize the channel. We want to keep this platform to be able to discuss things. Now, these things are of serious concern. So let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. Like I say, be circumspect about how you put it. But I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff coming down the road. So with that, I'll leave you. Remember that America needs something. America needs an enema, but it needs a reversion or a fragmentation and resurrection or something. And I think we're just going to have to ride this thing a little bit longer before we can see what it really needs and whether or not that's going to happen. All right. You all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.